it's a small part. I just did one episode, but there was a TV show many years ago called Cold Case, and it was like an investigation show where the police department, or the detectives, yeah, the detectives, they have these cases that that were never able to be solved, and they've just sort of they go cold, which is why they call it a cold case, and they just get filed away and sort of forgotten about. So these are cold case detectives who, that's actually a job where their entire job is to try to solve these crimes that couldn't get solved. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there was a serial killer who had the nickname the Golden State Killer. Obviously, he's California. He was a serial killer in California, and this was in, gosh, I want to say the 70s or the 80s that
So it was
he had.
based on a true story.
Oh yeah, this is a real guy, the Golden State Killer. And I want to say it was in the 70s or the 80s that he was murdering all these women, and they never found him. And he got arrested like last year. They
Wow.
they ended up finding him and solving the case. So anyway, it's a show called Cold Case, and I played a famous pinup model who gets murdered, and they never found out who the murderer was. And what's great about the show is that they go back in time and they recreate of all the things that led up to the murder. And so it's almost like filming a mini movie inside of a television show. And it was one of my first big TV jobs that, like, I didn't just go in for like a couple of hours and then go home, but like I would go first thing in the morning, work all day, go home, sleep, get up the next morning, go work all day, and that feeling of being like, oh wow, this is a job, this is a regular, like, I get up, I go to work, I do what I love to do, I go home, and then I get up and I get to do the whole thing all over again. That was what really made me fall in love with not just acting, but acting in television. And then just be able to see it on the television screen and watch it with all my friends and my family just 6 weeks later. That was amazing. It was something that, it wasn't like sometimes you do a film and then a year later, maybe it comes out, but maybe it doesn't. And then people are saying, well, where can I watch it? Can I watch it in the movie theaters? Well, I don't know if it'll, get into movie theaters, or it'll get into movie theaters, but not everywhere, only in New York or LA, or oh, it was in theaters, but it's already gone, or whatever. And so this was really cool. And I just, I got to dress up in like really beautiful clothes, and I got to sing and dance, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. So I would say, if you can find it, the Pinup Girl episode of a TV show called Cold Case that was on CBS, that would be my favorite.